Witching Hour with your hosts, Miranda,
and Nina. So we are here at the cemetery, and this week's episode is cemetery rituals. Yeah, don't mind the background. We're all raw. Okay, we're all raw here.
And it's summertime, so people are bumping. People are getting off work. It's the holiday.
Yeah, exactly. So first thing, before you enter a cemetery, while doing any type of dumping, spell work, rituals, ancestral work, anything like that, you've got to pay homage to the spirits.
Yes, you're paying your toll.
Okay.
Now, originally what I was taught, you can take a few pennies. You always want to leave copper or tobacco. Now, the reason that you're doing that is because you're paying your respects, you're giving something to a place that is obviously sacred.
Exactly.
But as witches, we are taught, especially since I myself, whenever I come into the cemetery, I get shit stuck on me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to go to this one to pull shit off of me.
Yes. So it does keep you safe, and it allows the spirits to know that somebody is entering to do spiritual work, and basically minding their own business unless they're summoned. Because a lot of people do come to the cemetery to summon deities as well.
Yes.
Okay, so what we have is the typical 4 dimes.
So, yes, 4 dimes and 9 pennies. Okay? And we are going to leave them at the gate into the entrance. Now, you can go from whatever end to whatever end, and then you're going to place these. We've chose this lovely tree.
Yes, we have. So here we go. I'm going to throw one up there. Okay, we got this.
Ready?
Okay guys, so we found a good spot here. There's not too much that we can bother. So we want to just let you know some of the reasons why people come to the cemetery to do their spell work or stuff like that. A lot of the reasons is graveyard dirt, okay? Graveyard dirt symbolizes nature, and then it is spiritual because it's spiritually infused with the spirits that are buried here. Fresh graveyard dirt, usually people will get from a fresh dug grave.
And it's always best to get it from those that are your ancestors or those that have passed. Unless you buy it in a shop like ours.
Yeah, because we do get ours from safe places. The reason for that is because you don't want to pick up somebody that has had a bad past or bad energies and let that manipulate the spell or whatever you're trying to do with it, okay? Yeah, no bueno. Okay, so I've been in the cemetery a few times because I have removed stuff. I had a possessed doll that I needed to get rid of and bury. So what I did is I found, of course I paid my homage, and I do ask my ancestors, is it okay to bury here? And they say yes, and I just have them allow me to stop with my intuition where it's okay to do so. I ended up burying it next to a tree that did not bother anybody's grave. You bring your little shovel. It was in a black box, so it was contained, and I buried it and threw some blessing over it, and it's been returned to nature. So, yeah.
It's been returned to nature.
It has.
Thank God it hasn't dug its way out.
Right, because that doll was scary as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
That's for another time.
Yeah, that's going to be a different segment because I think we've all had to deal with some dolls.
Yeah, and when I do house cleansings, I found some weird shit. You could tell it's spell work. Hangers wrapped with ribbon and nails, like tied up in it. They're just asking for shit to happen in the house. Anytime you find shit like that around your house, get a black bag or something black to put it in. Do not touch it with your hands, please. Okay.
And the reason for that is because what it does is it stops the energy. Since I practice Santeria, we use white, but as a witch, I know that we constantly use black for pretty much everything. What else would you say there?
Yeah. I've always used black, or I will use like a paper bag to grab it,
Yeah, just you don't want to touch it with your hands. And the reason for that is you don't want that energy transfer. sometimes people have really ugly stuff. Again, when people go antique shopping, before you take that into your home, please smudge it.
Yes.
Just don't.
Yes.
Yeah, because then you're gonna have to call us, and we're like the
Exactly.
modern day Ghostbusters.
We lying. Ghostbusters. But so,
No.
anyways, so I brought like stuff that I needed to get rid of from other people, and I do the same thing. I ask my guides, "Is this okay to bury here?" And I will bury it. I've taken a little bit of graveyard dirt home, to use, and what things do you think people use graveyard dirt for?
Well, I can tell you what us witches use it for. No, just kidding.
All I can think of is all the bad shit.
I think before we touch on the graveyard dirt, I just want to say, anytime you come into a cemetery, it's all about respect. And say you don't have the 9 pennies, you don't have the 4 dimes. That's fine. Leave what you have. Leave tobacco, but always leave with. Make sure you're always leaving something when you're here. And you're wanting to let the place know, because everywhere has its own energy. Everything has its own spirits. And this is a place that people have been laid to rest.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is about respect. There's honor and there's respect. And, when people pass, they're at peace. So just be very respectful of those type of things.
Yes.
Let's see. Things that I have done. So,
what have you done, Miranda?
well, I can neither confirm nor deny. I'm just kidding. She's like, I don't know if we should talk about this on camera.
Hey, we don't have boundaries.
We don't have
Let's
the case is still pending. No, just kidding. So personally, what I've used graveyard dirt for is graveyard dirt is very, very powerful. You want to hex somebody, graveyard dirt. You want to remove shit off of you, you can take a small handful. I do it in the cemetery, but if you are unable to do that where you're at, you can have a small stash somewhere. Again, if you're not taking it from your own ancestors, buy it from one of the witch shops like ours. You can take it and you're going to put it in your hand and you're going to scrub yourself everywhere with it, and then you're going to let it hit the ground and don't touch it again. Another thing I like to err on caution with people, if you're coming to collect graveyard dirt or you're coming to do hexing magic in the graveyard, change your shoes, because you do not want to carry that shit back home with you. So I'll wear a pair of flip-flops, and especially if I'm digging.
Disposable, huh?
Yeah. Toss those bitches out before you walk into your home. Always keep a paper bag that you can put it in. I always bring extras just because I'm going to double wrap that bitch because I don't want it to end up in my car.
Exactly.
Because we've had possessed cars before. Again, another episode. If you have questions or you want to tell us your story, go to our Gmail. Yeah.
So my experiences with graveyard dirt is I've had a lot of people, especially from across the border, that have been buried, and I can tell they're buried because it starts eating away at their skin, under their skin, and doctors don't know what's going on with them. Okay. This is basically burying a live person alive, so you are wishing death on somebody. I won't tell you how to do it, but
hit up our email. No, just kidding.
I won't tell you how to do it, but when I've seen stuff like this, you've got to use a lot of the same what's been used against it for it, okay, in order to heal. So graveyard dirt is all about your intention, and if you are dark or light or good or bad or up and down,
and you're pissed off.
Yeah, just be careful.
Yes.
We don't suggest it for lots of reasons, especially if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Please don't go there. You can turn around and hex yourself real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's again with the changing of the clothes when you leave the graveyard.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people will come to the graveyard also to do rituals, like full moon rituals, stuff sex magic, stuff like that. Find a space where you're not on top of somebody's grave, please.
Yeah, just try to be respectful.
it is all about respect, and it is about keeping things and cleaning up your shit when you're done.
Yes, nobody this is not Hollywood, baby.
Mm-mm.
This is not Hollywood.
No.
We do it, we stay quiet, we respect nature.
Right, and I know a lot of people come into the graves to do paranormal stuff, as far as like looking for ghosts and signs of paranormal activity. You know, Ogden Cemetery has a couple of storylines.
Yeah, they're quite big. If you follow us, you should check it out. You know, we've got the soldier that follows people.
Mm-hmm.
That little girl that went missing, her mom had left her in the cemetery. She froze to death. What's the other one? Flo?
There's
something like
Flo,
that.
another lady that I think she's the oldest buried person here, honestly. And I'm correct. I think I'm correct with that story. So when you're coming with your paranormal stuff, a lot of paranormal people or, you know, investigators, they like to agitate the spirits.
And that's so they can get a reaction.
It is.
We're not looking for reactions. And if you are sensitive, you're already going to irritate things when you walk in. It's
Exactly.
just how it goes. Again, that's what you leave the offering for, to let the spirits know. Yes, I am sensitive. Yes, I can pick things up, but I am paying homage. I don't want to be bothered while I'm here.
Exactly, because driving over here, knowing I'm coming here, my whole crown chakra was like electrocuting. Okay, I could just feel that shit hard.
Yeah, and on my way here, I just put a bunch of different oil on me, and I was like, we're shutting it down.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely had to shut down. I feel a lot better now. So also with paranormal stuff, just be mindful with who you're calling. Okay.
Yes, and I know a lot of people, and it's not me, but I have someone very close to me who used to love to come to the graveyard and play with a Ouija board.
That's good.
Yeah, let's not do that, okay? I mean, if you know what you're doing, that's one thing, but if you don't, again, please err on the side of caution, otherwise you're going to end up having to deal with us later on, too.
Right, right.
Do you want to kind of go over that a little bit? Calling the spirits is different than using a Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
Even using what we would call a witch board or a spirit board is different. Do you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I see it. Yeah, we're getting our own little signs here. So yeah, when you use any of these types of boards, it's like an open door, like a revolving door, okay? It's almost like a portal that you're bringing with you in that board. And anything and everything can come through. And anything and everything can stay stuck. So that is what the difference is, as far as doing that or calling a deity or calling a spirit, because you're singling out the spirit. And yes, people will say, well, you never know what you're getting either way. No, you don't. But when you're more mature in your walk and mature in what you do, then you understand.
Respectful. Again, respectful.
Yes. Then you can tell the difference between what is and what isn't. Okay. Yeah. And I'm one that I always did this is for my homie, throwing the alcohol over the grave. Okay. You know what?
I blow the smoke.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Just pick up your fucking can or your bottle or whatever it is and take it with you. You know what I mean? It
Unless
is all
that's
about respect.
that's what you're doing. You're sitting here, you're cracking a beer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've done it with my family. You've done it with your family. It's just, and maybe it's a cultural thing. But that's,
I think that is the cultural thing.
yeah. I mean, I always leave a cigarette for my aunt when we come here. We leave beer for my grandfather. I've left beer and other things for my father.
Mm-hmm.
But being native, ours is very big on tobacco. So a lot of times we'll leave tobacco as an offering. Let's see. Going back to the boards. So witch boards are a little bit more safer because they have a spell or something inside the board that protects things from coming out. So if you really, really want to do it, again, know what you're doing and try to go the safer route until you're more practiced to do what you're going to do. Other things I have done, Nina did mention, burying people in the graveyard. Now, I don't like to do that, but I will let you know, if you come for mine, I'm coming for yours. And that is my last resort. So.
It has to be a last resort.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I've done it. I know other people have done it.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, again, it's about respect. Don't act crazy with me. Don't act crazy with her.
Right. Or with the spirits out here, because they will make
jack
sure you don't
up.
come out of here.
Yeah. Or
Not
you'll come out of
correctly,
here
anyways.
with a few things.
Not correctly, anyways. Let's see. Other things that I really wanted to touch on is, let's see, ancestors. Ancestors, when you come and, you know, Dia de los Muertos, when you're coming to reflect with your ancestors, there is nothing wrong with jamming your music. A lot of people see that as disrespectful.
I was always
Yeah.
taught that it was disrespectful,
Uh-huh.
so I always shut it off. But I've had times where I've been here visiting family and my radio will turn on.
Yeah.
And my husband, he always, that's how he communicates with me, is through music.
Mm.
So, I mean, again, it's about respect.
Yeah, and you know, jamming your music, you're sitting there with your family, spending the day with them. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's the remembrance of how they lived their lives and the celebration of their lives. That's what's important. And if they like to jam out and drink, pues órale, you know, jam out and drink.
Shit,
So.
I know family that come and actually have picnics with their loved
Right,
ones.
they bring food and the whole kit and caboodle. It's like a carne asada up in here. Hey, is there anything else?
Okay, we should probably touch on, if you've been to a cemetery, I can't even talk today, y'all. If you've been to a cemetery and you're leaving and you realize, oh, I might have something on you, what is one of the signs that you would, what is something that you would like to give to them as saying, you know what, you might have something placed on you?
Okay, so you're gonna walk out heavier in energy, first of all. Clumsiness is one of my things that I get. Clumsiness, can't talk correctly. So we know Miranda's already picked up something here.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. You know, and it's not safe for us because she is an open portal herself. Also, another thing is head pressure.
Yes.
Head pressure.
Yes.
You know,
I love
and
that
it's
you
gonna
brought
go
that
from the
up.
head pressure down to the back of the neck, where you will feel pressure. Just be aware. Nausea. Nausea is always a big thing too. And you know, if you go in your car and you go to turn it on, it kind of skips a beat. Be careful with that, all right? There's probably something coming back with you. And I know these are like little minute things, but you don't want to take chances, all right? 'Cause
Yeah,
you never
and
know what's coming with you.
And it's not that hard to do things to put in place,
Exactly.
especially people that were raised very, what would we say, religious.
Mhm.
I know a lot of us will keep crucifixes in our car, holy water. What are some things that you do when you come into a cemetery that you keep in your car?
I usually put I have a prayer written in my glove box that stays, and of course it's a Psalms prayer of protection that I keep in my glove box. And sometimes if I know I'm gonna be walking around and stuff like that, I put it in my shoes.
That's good.
So-
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I do. I don't really do much else other than spray myself down with Florida water,
Yeah.
you know, as soon as I leave the area.
And another thing with Florida water, it's been so worldly used and for such a long time that you're not disrespecting the spirits if you do it. The same with sage or I like to use Palo Santo to uplift spirits, so I would do that afterwards when I got home. But
You know, Florida water is spirit infused though.
yes, it is.
When it's made, it is spirit infused for the protection, and that is what actually gives you the protection
It's the
from
spirits.
and the cleansing
Hmm.
and stuff like that is from spirits itself. So
You can use Kanga water as well, but I don't believe Kanga water is that easy to get out here. You probably have to specially order it. I think we've had a couple in the shop before, but a lot of people don't even know what Kanga water is. Blue and Now, that's another thing. More of like our Hispanic culture would probably be more aware of that. Let's see.
rue water.
Rue, yes, you guys, we cannot stress rue enough. It is amazing. The plant itself is amazing. The water purposes. You can use it to, if we're really good at what we do, we can use it to hex people.
Yeah,
I
and that's
won't-
one of those double standard things
Yeah,
too.
it is definitely. But again, it's the intent. So we can use it for cleansing. We can use it for purification type of things. We can use it for even healing, or we can use it to harm. So But we're not talking about harming. I'm all on the harm level today. I don't know what's wrong with me.
You know, we just got to talk about all ends though of it, because it's reality. It is reality. There's people out there that do shit, that do harm other people because of whatever's the fuck's going on in their head.
I know.
I want to bring up like the sketching where you put a paper over the headstone and you etch it or go over it. You know, that is taking a piece of them with you, and that could also be used in ritual work. It could be used in inviting that spirit in or deity in, you know, and it's something that not a lot of people talk about. You
Very
know,
true.
it used to be really popular like in the late 90s,
Yeah.
mid to late 90s. But I know there's still some people out there that do that. Just know when you take a copy of somebody's headstone, thank them, show gratitude, because you are taking a piece of them, okay? Always show gratitude. You know, whether you think they hear you or not, they know.
They do know. And you know what? None of us walk this life alone. You know, there's people that have come before us. There's going to be people that come after us.
Exactly.
And you better damn well believe that there's people that walk alongside of us. So,
Yes.
again, just respect in that manner. Another thing, what I've noticed is if I come into contact with something that's pretty heavy or pretty malicious, I usually feel it in my legs. Don't forget, yes, you can ground some places, but in a cemetery, you'd want to be more cautious if you don't know what you're doing.
You don't know what you're grounding to.
Yes, and you don't know what you're pulling through the earth with your feet.
A lot of people, a lot of people, Hecate is a big item right now, so a lot of people think that is their deity.
I love that you're bringing that up.
A lot of people think that is their deity, and she's calling to them, and you know, she might be. I do feel it's a fad, but when you come into a cemetery to call on Hecate because she is of the underworld, be careful what you're opening, because while it's opening, you can be letting shit out. You've got to make sure you have salt protection or the north, south, east, west circle of protection around you when you are doing that. Otherwise,
Bring a rope.
a rope, anything
Yes,
that
and it's your
resembles
circle.
your circle.
Your protection.
Otherwise, you are letting other shit out that does not need to be out. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And if you're doing sex magic, that we can cover that topic later on. But again, protection, y'all. Protection.
You want to put a circle around you in order to make sure y'all two are protected. You know what I mean? It's just normal. You're putting your nude body in the soil where spirits are buried and laid to rest. Thinkers, guys.
Thinkers.
We want to use protection. I choose black salt over white salt just because I feel like it will absorb and deflect negative spirits or entities or anything like that, because I don't want nothing negative coming in between me and my man. You know, while we getting it in. We'll just say that.
Ooh, Emma. Ooh, it's hot. No, just kidding.
Right. No, it really is fucking hot though.
It really is hot. If you see us, we're like
sweating. Hey.
and I have my hair up in a awful
And
ponytail.
I finally have mine down, and it's just ridiculous.
But it looks good.
Oh, thank you. Hey, I don't know. Is there anything else?
Let's see. Other things, I know different cultures use different things. I know, you know, some of the Asians will use rice or chili peppers. That's fine. Again, you want to do something that's safe for the environment. Remember that there are other wildlife that will come through and pick at those things. There's nothing wrong with, you know, leaving some bird seed too every now and again. But make sure it's something that they can eat.
Yeah.
And there is one thing that I will bring up because it's such a pet peeve to me. If you're bringing your pets, please don't let them pee on the headstones. Like, don't just... I just feel like that's so disrespectful. And I've been here a few times, and people will let their animals defecate and not pick it up. They will pee on headstones. Again, it's about respect. It's about respect. Growing up Native, we were always taught if we see the crows, you know, we say, you know, thank you, Brother Crow, for your warning. Please continue to bless us.
Yep.
You know, there's 4 of them. That's the number.
Yep, sure is.
And they stopped.
Yeah, they stopped right above our heads.
Yeah.
You know, and 4 to me represents like your deep ancestors, you know, your ancestors. That's what it means to me.
So they're
It
here.
also means, yeah,
So they were
they're
like,
here listening to us, and
one of them's got a chancla, is gonna smack her
yeah,
and say, "What are you
knock
doing?
the shit out of me.
What are
Don't
you
be
doing?
saying all our secrets, cabrona.
Don't be
Well.
in here doing naughty things." No.
Right, right.
And my dad's probably over there like, "Oh God, she's mine." No.
Yeah. That's funny. Okay, well, I don't know. I think this is where we end.
Okay.
And if you guys have any other questions or anything we didn't cover, we are winging it like we always do. So we weren't prepared to do it so early, but we had to because of the 4th of July. So y'all have a very blessed 4th of July.
Be safe.
Be safe. We will
Fire
not be open.
safety.
We will not be open Friday or Saturday at
No.
the shop.
But we will be in next week.
Yep. I'll be doing phone stuff, so if you guys need me, hit me up. Hit up my online stuff. I'm not
Yes,
gonna
yes.
be anywhere. I'm not camping or nothing.
I'm going camping, so
Remember, I don't do nature.
and I'm all out there. Just wait and see me. I'll probably like be doing
Yeah.
a photo shoot in the dirt.
Okay, you guys, thanks for watching us, and like I said, have a blessed weekend.
Yes, be safe, have fun, eat good food, and remember, if you're coming into the cemetery, pay your respects, leave your money or your tobacco, and you know what?
Yeah.
Have a great night, everybody.
All right, bye.
Bye. Yeah, I don't even think it recorded.
Todos me dicen el negro llorona, negro pero cariñoso. Todos me dicen el negro llorona.